7 years ago my life felt simple, ordinary, and at least in my own mind, content. I was married to Sarah, a woman I believed shared my dreams. Someone I thought loved me as deeply as I loved her. But one night everything shifted. I remember it clearly. The evening air was thick with humidity, and we sat across from each other at the kitchen table. She stirred her tea absent-mindedly, eyes distant. Then, without warning, she said, "I wish you'd just disappear." The words hit me like a blow. I froze, unsure if I had misheard her, but the look on her face, the cold emptiness in her voice, told me otherwise. There was no anger, no argument, just a quiet, final dismissal. I tried to reason, to plead, to salvage a piece of the 7 years we had built, but it was useless. Sarah had made her choice. The warmth, the intimacy, the partnership, it was gone. And with it, any trace of the man I once believed I was. So I vanished. Not physically at first, but mentally and emotionally. I stopped trying to please her. Stopped engaging in the passive-aggressive games that had eroded our marriage. I left the house while she slept, returned late, and focused on work, on building something of my own. But it wasn't just about disappearing from her life. It was about becoming someone she could never imagine. I invested in myself, learned new skills, pursued opportunities that challenged me, and pushed beyond comfort. I traveled to cities I had only read about, met people who expanded my worldview, and realized that the world outside her narrow gaze was immense and full of possibilities. Meanwhile, Sarah assumed I had crumbled, that the man she dismissed had been destroyed by her rejection. She flaunted her freedom, laughed louder, moved through life as if my absence gave her an edge, a victory to display. 7 years passed like this. My life quietly evolved while hers remained predictable, constrained, and unaware. Then came the day I returned to our hometown for a business meeting, a casual public appearance with no intention of reconnecting with my past. That's when she saw me. The moment was electric. I was standing on the sidewalk outside a cafe, reviewing papers for a project, when she froze across the street. Her mouth fell open, eyes wide with disbelief, realization dawning slowly. The man she had wished away no longer existed in the form she remembered. Her composure cracked. Her life, which she had imagined free from me, shattered in an instant. She didn't move at first, just stood frozen, caught by the headlights of her own misjudgment. Her new apartment, her friends, her sense of superiority, all suddenly seemed hollow. I didn't approach immediately. I wanted to watch how the moment unfolded. She scanned the street as if seeking an escape that didn't exist. Her gaze landed on me again, and I noticed a slight tremor in her hand. That subtle shake told me everything. Her assumption that my absence had weakened me was dead wrong. Then she stepped forward, drawn into the orbit of the life she had tried to erase. "Daniel," she whispered, barely audible over the traffic. I met her eyes, calm, controlled, stronger than she remembered. "Sarah," I said evenly. Her lips parted, searching for words that could explain her absence, justify her betrayal, or reclaim the man she had wished away. But words failed her. Behind her a man, her new boyfriend I assumed, noticed. He straightened, sensing the weight of history. He stepped closer, but I didn't flinch. There was no threat he posed that I hadn't already faced within myself. You're different," she stammered. "You've changed. You look successful." I allowed a faint smile. "There's a lot you didn't know, Sarah." Her gaze dropped, then flicked back up, awe and fear mixing in her eyes. The man she had relied on for excitement and validation now seemed irrelevant compared to the presence of someone she had underestimated. What have you been doing?" she asked, voice trembling with the desperation only regret can bring. I leaned casually against a lamp post, letting silence speak. In that silence she saw the truth. I had built a life without her, stronger, richer in every way she had dismissed. Her betrayal hadn't destroyed me. It had forced me to rise beyond the man she thought she could diminish. Her companion cleared his throat nervously. Sarah flinched, glancing between us. For the first time I saw uncertainty in her world. The illusion of control she had carried for years crumbled like sand slipping through fingers. "You've changed," she whispered again. "More yourself than to me." I didn't realize what I lost. Her words echoed, but they no longer held power. The man before her wasn't the one she left. He was someone who had survived, grown, and learned the value of self-worth in a way she never could. Sarah's world collapsed right there on the sidewalk. Confidence, new life, curated image, everything shattered in the quiet presence of the man she had once wished gone. She tried to speak again, voice barely audible. "I never thought I'd survive without you." I finished for her, letting the words hang. No anger, no malice. Just undeniable truth. I had not only survived, I had thrived. Her companion shifted, sensing tension, the invisible weight of history and betrayal. I said nothing. The look I gave him was enough. Controlled, confident, untouchable. He glanced at Sarah, then away, silently realizing she no longer held authority over me. For the first time, Sarah's eyes held real fear. Not of me, not of revenge, but of the consequences of her choices. The man she discarded had never been weak. Her attempts to erase me had only made me stronger. "You've done all this," she whispered, gesturing to my surroundings. "All these years without me." I nodded slowly. "Yes, Sarah. All these years without your interference, your judgment, your betrayal. And I am better for it." Her lips trembled. For a fleeting moment, I almost saw the woman I had loved, the one who laughed, dreamed, and promised to stand by me. But that woman was gone, replaced by regret and desperation. "I don't know what to say," she murmured, weighed down by her own actions. "You don't need to say anything," I replied. "This isn't about words. It's about truth. I lived my life while you chased illusions. I became stronger, happier, unstoppable. And you realized too late what you let go." She fell silent, understanding fully there would be no reconciliation, no second chance. Family pressure, past authority, her new life. None of it mattered against who I had become. As she walked away, head bowed, I felt no malice, no joy. Only peace. 7 years of absence, of building myself from betrayal, had led to this moment. And I knew with absolute certainty the man standing here, resilient, strong, unapologetically alive, was exactly the man she had tried to erase. No tears, apologies, or pressure could ever change that. Sometimes the best revenge isn't confrontation. It isn't showing off or humiliating them. It's living fully, thriving without them, and letting them witness the life they will never touch.